Tonight on WTOP 10 Nightly News, Election Day is just around the corner, how the races are shaping up ahead of Tuesday.
And Planetarium shows at Shinneman how to catch the performances.
Plus, Halloween is tomorrow, how SUNY Oswego is celebrating the occasion.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Seidman.
And I'm Piper Kiernan.
Tomorrow is Halloween. People all over Oswego are planning to celebrate by dressing up and trick-or-treating. The village of Oswego will be welcoming trick-or-treaters between the hours of 3:30 and 8 o'clock p.m.
The New York State Police Department urges people to stay safe on the holiday. Some tips for drivers include staying alert, following posted speed limits, ensuring visibility, and more. They tell trick-or-treaters to look both ways before crossing the street, carry a flashlight or reflective gear, and walk in groups.
SUNY Oswego is hosting a pumpkin compost drive. The event will take place at the Permaculture Living Lab located between Shinneman Hall and Lee Hall Gymnasium. The compost drive starts on October 31st and ends November 8th. The goal is to reduce waste while also enriching soil for future growing seasons.
Campus Recreation will be hosting a Halloween open skate tomorrow night. Students can dress up in their costumes and skate for free in the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Arena. The best 3 costumes will win prizes, and there will be giveaways and snacks provided. The skate begins at 6 o'clock and ends at 7:30.
You know, Piper, I'm really excited for Halloween tomorrow.
Me too. I wonder what the weather will look like.
Well, let's send it over to Storm Team 10 meteorologist Ryan Murphy to see.
Ryan?
Yes, it's going to be very nice out tomorrow. We had some record-breaking temperatures today, maybe some record-breaking temperatures tomorrow. I'll let you know after the break. Now, tomorrow night, it's time to trick-or-treat. I'll let you know if it's going to rain or not, what the temperatures will be. It should be nice out, but if you look at temperatures outside right now, it's nice and warm out following today with a nice 70 degrees. It's a little cloudy out there, a little breezy, but it's beautiful out. I'll let you know about Halloween night and your forecast after the break. First, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ryan. If you've ever dreamt of going to space and exploring the stars but aren't quite ready to strap yourself to a rocket, look no further than SUNY Oswego.
WTOP reporter Dominic Ciccarelli brings us to Shinneman Hall and inside of SUNY Oswego's very own planetarium. Take us away, Dom.
Thanks, Piper. On the second floor of Shinneman Hall lies a portal to the world beyond our atmosphere. The Shinneman Planetarium, equipped with a fully digital 24-foot projection dome and built-in surround sound systems, all to bring students into a more immersive way of learning about space. Some shows are even run by students, teaching the audience about a variety of topics, from the science of supernovas to what the weather is like on other planets. Astronomer Natalia Lewandowska, who works in SUNY Oswego's physics department studying neutron stars, tells us more.
Understand how things are moving in space, how planets are moving around the sun or around other stars. So I'm showing to them in the planetarium, like in 3D, how all of this works, and they really have like a much better learning experience. So I'm trying to introduce the planetarium as an active classroom, basically, and I teach also an introductory astronomy class, which is called Astronomy 100.
The planetarium shows happen Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. or to request a private show for you and up to 34 of your friends or family, go to the Oswego website and search Planetarium. Now, let's get back to the desk.
Oswego City Schools will be receiving a multi-million-dollar grant. District's voters approved a $46.5 million project. Oswego High School and Middle School, along with 5 elementary schools in the district, are a part of this project. The funding is going towards infrastructural and instructional needs, as well with transportational needs. The project's completion rate is for the next 24 to 30 months.
3 Syracuse teenagers are charged with the murder of a 15-year-old in August. The 4 teenagers were riding in a stolen Hyundai Sonata on August 12th when they opened fire on a group of pedestrians. Jerron McGee Jr. was accidentally shot in the head after being caught in the crossfire. The three 16-year-old suspects will be tried as adults and are facing several charges, including felony murder in the second degree.
One woman, along with a 9-year-old and a 5-month-old, are dead after going over Niagara Falls. They have been identified as 33-year-old Chayanti Means and her 2 children. While the incident appears to be intentional, it is still under investigation by state police. Unmanned aircraft and underwater units are being used in the investigation.
Still ahead tonight with the 2024 election, less than a week away, find out more about the 24th district debate, which took place earlier today.
Plus, early voting numbers are set to break records this year. Find out how this has affected poll workers.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill
Should
told
we
me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
And welcome back. I'm Ryan Murphy with your local weather forecast. Now, if you woke up this morning, you were like me, you probably put a sweatshirt and sweatpants on, walked out the door and went, oh, it's warm out, went back inside and changed into shorts. And man, were you right. We hit a high of 81 degrees today, breaking our previous record in Oswego of 79 degrees, previously set in 1946. Now, it's going to stay hot, hopefully like the Yankees, into tomorrow, where we're going to see a high of 77 degrees. That will also shatter every other Halloween's record temperatures, which was 73 set back in 2003. It's going to be very warm out. We're going to have a very nice Halloween. But if you're staying out too late Halloween night, it is going to pick up, it is going to rain a bit and cool down a bit as well. But that is going to be later into the night. I'll get into that later in my forecast. Now looking at our current temperatures, it's still very warm out. About 68 in our area. Pretty consistent temperatures going across western New York, over into Rochester, to Rochester, Buffalo area where it's nice 66, and staying even 66 up here in Fort Drum. Now looking at our current satellite and radar, there's not a drop of rain in the sky. It is still very cloudy, but it's still warm, giving us that nice warm temperatures that some of us have been really hoping for. Now looking ahead at our future cast, tomorrow around 4, 3-ish, we're going to start to see that high temperature of 77 that I talked about earlier. That is record breaking. Now, now if we look ahead later into Thursday night, into Friday morning, rain showers are going to start to move in. Now it's late Thursday. If you're out trick-or-treating, you might want to pack it up a little early. If you do want to stay out late, maybe break out a rain jacket. Now those showers are going to move on out early Friday morning. And some clouds will move in as well. And it is going to be a bit windy out there Friday. Thursday night, right before all that rain comes in, it's going to be pretty windy, and that wind's going to pick up throughout the night, hitting as high as 32 miles an hour. Now, if you have any trash cans out, anything loose, maybe like chairs, patio, furniture, you might want to suggest either putting it inside, maybe tying it down. Now, those winds are going to stay pretty consistent all through Friday and into the weekend. Looking tonight, it's going to be a nice 56 degrees, still holding on to those warm temperatures that we had today. It's still pretty cloudy out there. Looking ahead at our extended forecast, tomorrow, the record-breaking temperatures that I talked about, and we're going to have some showers Friday, but it is going to stay pretty sunny out. It's going to be a bit cooler this weekend. And Sunday, don't forget to change your clocks back. It is daylight savings time. And Monday, it is going to be a bit rainy out. And Tuesday, don't forget to vote. It is election day. Now, National Weather Service is predicting that it's going to be a warmer 68 degrees. There's a slight chance that it rains. We're not too sure yet. And Wednesday, showers will pick up and they will be likely. We also will have some pretty cool nights this weekend. That's all I have for my full forecast. Piper and Joe, back to you.
Head-to-head in the debate for the 24th Congressional District are Republican Tenney, who is the incumbent, and Democrat Wagenhauser. During the debate, Wagenhauser spoke on how the system now is broken. He wants to push for more federal funding so that local communities don't have as much financial burden. On the contrary, Tenney is fighting for legal immigration for those who want to live the American dream, while also saying that Wagenhauser is aiming to have American citizens taxed more. The race continues for a seat in Congress. With the 2024 election now less than a week away, many Americans have already cast their early voting mail-in ballots.
Many poll workers are saying that they're seeing more of these ballots than ever. Reporter Christian Garzone has more on how this is affecting the voter turnout.
Early voting in 2020 was busy enough, according to poll worker Paul Wagner. 2024 has been something else thus far.
It's been absolutely, nonstop lines. Yeah. The only time we actually had a slow spell was when the Bills were playing.
Wagner says not to brag, but his site in Perrinton has seen the highest turnout in Monroe County so far. No easy task for him and his team.
I'm proud of every single poll worker that we have here at the Board of Elections. I think enthusiasm is absolutely huge this election.
And it shows, not here just in Perrinton, but also in this footage from Henrietta. Back in the line at Perrinton, Jack Betancourt says the wait to cast his ballot doesn't bother him.
Because we need to get our country straightened out and try to end up all this bickering.
Deanna Davis says 2024 is a critical election for women.
As a half Caucasian, half African American woman, I want to be heard and I want to make sure my vote counts for something.
Steve McDermott says two issues are driving him here early.
Number one for me is the economy, and very closely behind is the border.
Remember back a few years ago when a large Little Caesars cheese pizza was $5? Yeah, so does Scott Julian. He manages a couple of locations, and he was first in line to vote today. Thanks to inflation, he says, those $5 pies are now $7.99.
Part of the reason I voted, but inflation and minimum wage and all that stuff really impacted our business.
Over 56 million mail-in and early in-person votes have been cast across the country.
Early voting results are on track to break records in New York this year. The U.S. Supreme Court decided to allow the state of Virginia to purge suspected non-citizens from voter registration polls. This has received mixed reviews from lawmakers. A federal judge found that purge violated a federal law that blocks systematic voter poll removal 90 days before a federal election. However, the Biden administration, voting rights groups, and lower courts said the program potentially disenfranchised an unknown number of citizens.
Back into some Halloween news, President Joe Biden and his wife Jill hosted an event for trick-or-treaters earlier today. The First Lady added an educational theme to the event, which was called Hallow Read. The event hosted over 8,000 people, including students and children tied to the military. Jill Biden read a short story to a group of children and later handed out candy and books that were donated to the White House.
When WTOP 10 Nightly News continues, the holiday season is right around the corner. How Burger King is celebrating.
And Chipotle customers are upset about varying burrito bowl size. How are they going to fix it?
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to WTOP 10. In consumer news, a pig in Oregon has tested positive for H5N1 bird flu virus, which has been the first detection in the U.S. This case has raised concerns because pigs can be infected by bird and human viruses at the same time, which can give rise to mutated strains that can easily infect humans. Officials say there are no concerns about the nation's pork supply.
The author of the study says it's critical that everyone has health insurance. It can help improve racial and ethnic disparities in the stage of cancer diagnosis, therefore improving the chance of survival among these groups.
Campbell's Soup is releasing candles that smell like Thanksgiving sides. Campbell's did a poll and found 40% of people would be happy with just sides, no turkey. They're coming out with 4 candles with smells including green bean casserole, macaroni and cheese, stuffing, and mashed potatoes. Campbell's partnered with Campe Family Experience Company to create this limited edition collection. The candles are going on sale on November 18th.
Bigger portions are on their way to Chipotle. Customers posted on their social media frustration when the portions were smaller than they expected. Over the summer, a Wells Fargo analyst weighed 75 Chipotle burrito bowls, and all of the portion varied widely. The interim CEO, Scott Boatwright, says that they are committed to give the right portions to every guest who walks in the building.
Burger King is set to release a 12-day Christmas advent calendar. Each day will be inspired by past and present menu items and memorable moments. Throughout 70-year history, it will cost $19.45, which is a nod to Burger King's founding year. The advent calendar goes on sale on November 22nd. Burger King is also doing 31 days of deals. Now up in sports, Cameron Carvalho.
Cameron, can you give us a preview of Lakers soccer?
The women's soccer team has their first home playoff game in quite a while this weekend in the first round of the SUNYAC Championship. The third-seeded Lakers are playing the sixth-seeded Oneonta at 1 o'clock p.m., an opponent who they previously lost to by a score of 2-0 on September 28th. The Lakers have only beaten the Red Dragons one time since 1997, which came last year. Oneonta finished 5-4 in conference play, and the Lakers were 5-3-1. In their last meeting, the Red Dragons got an early goal from Emma Parente, who intercepted a Lakers back pass and burst through the defense before blasting a shot in the bottom right of the net in just the 3rd minute. Then, Kayla Schweizer scored a clean header from Shannon Lowney's quarter to make it 2-0. The Lakers never found the back of the net despite having almost twice as many shots in the game. The Lakers will look to get top goal scorers Katie Del Grosso, Erica Yancey, and Kaylee Elliott going against a Red Dragons defense that has allowed 1.4 goals per game this year. On the other hand, the Lakers, who hold opponents to an average of 1.3 goals per game, will need to contain Caden Ring and Kira Dasnow of the Red Dragons. The Lakers have over twice as many goals as the Red Dragons on the year and own an advantage in most other statistical categories, such as shots on goal percentage and corner kicks. The winner will go on the road at Cortland next Sunday. When we return, Mike Neckers will have the full Wednesday night sports report. Don't go anywhere.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back, folks. There's a whole lot to cover tonight, so here's your Wednesday night sports report. It was a bad day to be a Laker today as the Oswego women's field hockey team lost 5-0 to the Ithaca Bombers. Despite taking 18 shots in the first half, Sam Krautheim entered halftime allowing just 1 goal and recording 11 saves. The Bombers adjusted going into the third, however, netting 4 more goals and finishing the night with 38 recorded shots, 26 of which were on target. The Lakers recorded 0 shots and played a whole lot of defense. In some happier news, the Oswego State men's club flag football team is set to travel to UMass Amherst this weekend for the NIRSA Championship Series. This series is a huge milestone for Oswego's club flag football team as it is their first major tournament. The team, led by head coach Kenny Gerard, is fresh off of a huge win against Rochester Institute of Technology and has a chance to face them again while at this tournament. In international sports, the Union of European Football Associations, known as UEFA, pledged today to steer $1.08 billion toward all levels of women's soccer over the next 6 years as part of a strategy to further grow the beautiful game in Europe. According to ESPN, UEFA's goal is to make football the most played sport for women and girls in every European country, as well as doubling the number of fully professional national women's leagues and raising the number of players from 3,000 up to almost 6,000. And the United States women's soccer team just wrapped up a friendly match versus Argentina, but don't let the term friendly fool you. This game was far from it. The match, which kicked off at 7 p.m., was filled with excitement and anger as the young U.S. team took to the field in preparation for the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. The women's team won 3-0 thanks to a brace. That's 2 goals from Naomi Germa and an own goal scored by Argentina defender Aldana Comedi. And sticking with the United States, Game 5 of the World Series is underway as we speak. But let's go back and check out what happened last night in Game 4. Freddie Freeman would kick things off for the Dodgers. He's been Mr. Consistent during this series and wasted no time hitting a 2-run homer early in the top of the first. His 4th homer of the series, and this guy is homered in every single game of the series. And a little scandal here. Watch this ball fly as Gleyber Torres hits a pop-up to right field. Mookie Betts makes the catch, but what's this? A crazy Yankee fan rips it out of his glove, and we'll cut to that camera angle now. Look at the smile on this Yankees fan face as he's yanking it out. Look at that. He's just so happy to be there. Unfortunately, the ball still does get called out for fan interference, and the man responsible was removed from the crowd shortly afterwards, so rough night for him. Bottom of the third, Volpe, who's had an underwhelming playoff so far, hits a grand slam. Absolutely huge momentum shift for the Yankees, and look how much it means to the fans, folks. And this one was just a home run festival last night. I mean, holy moly. Smith, top of the 5th. Solo homer to the short porch, but it does cut down the lead and make it a little more manageable. Smith isn't the only guy feeling himself, though, because here's Austin Wells. Abysmal in the playoffs this year, but this one flew over 400 yards, an absolute bomb. A Verdugo grounder to second on this next play. Looks like it should just about end the 8th inning, but the throw home, not too pretty, guys. And Volpe makes it home, adds an insurance run. And speaking of insurance runs, you're going to see 3 more right here from the man himself, Gleyber Torres, an absolute bomb. This thing's gone, guys. Right into that short deck. And look how much the fans are loving it. Drinks throwing everywhere, coming in on home. Nice little handshake here. And next up, I think we've got Mr. Aaron Judge. Why not add on one more run here, make it 11-4 Yanks, and give the fans some hope. The Yankees' first win of the series, still a long way to go as they are down 3-1. But momentum is sending them in the right direction, and they've carried that momentum into tonight, where they are currently up 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Well, you can stick around for some more Halloween news after the break.
Welcome back to Major Discussion.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
A beloved Halloween treat is being celebrated today across the United States.
It's National Candy Corn Day, celebrating the treat that has been around for over 140 years.
But since its creation, candy corn has evolved from looking like a kernel in the white, yellow, and orange candy seen today.
The candy has been included in American favorites like Oreos and is commonly used in many different dishes this time of year. And guys, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of candy corn. I think my favorite is the little pumpkins.
Those ones are phenomenal. How about you guys?
I think candy corn needs to end. It is the worst candy possible, and it should not be added to anything.
I think candy corn is a top 25 candy of all time.
And Ryan, what's the weather looking like for Halloween tomorrow?
Well, it's going to be pretty nice throughout the day, even into tomorrow night. It's going to be nice until late Thursday night. If you're trick-or-treating, you'll probably be inside anyways. Mike, those Yankees are looking good. Yanks in 7, eh?
Possibly, but we've got some Oswego sports coming up this weekend, hockey and soccer, and that is all we've got time for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Unveiled Creativity.